Ata Maria, I'm Sherry Kinnear, and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. The Prime Minister is pleased to be back at the United Nations after arriving in New York ahead of the week-long General Assembly. It's the first time so many world leaders have gathered in person since 2019. Ardern says there's a sense of responsibility given the weight of the topics set to be discussed, such as the war in Ukraine and climate change.
New Zealand has been totally consistent in calling an end for fossil fuel subsidies. We do it through our FTA arrangements, we do it bilaterally, we are utterly consistent on this issue. So there I think we are playing a role at the same time as making sure that domestically we're doing our bit to transition as well.
The bill establishing a public holiday to mark the passing of Queen Elizabeth has passed its third reading in Parliament. The one-off Memorial Day will be next Monday and a state memorial service will be held in Wellington Cathedral. Meanwhile, in London, Brits are returning to everyday life after the passing of the Queen. New Zealand Herald reporter Adam Pearce is there.
Well, after the momentous events of Monday's state funeral and committal service for the late Queen Elizabeth II, Londoners are just getting on with their day here, getting used to their new life under the new King Charles III. As you can see behind me, I'm here at Whitehall Court and it's pretty quiet, and that's quite reflective of most of central London at the moment, especially compared with the last few days, which have been absolutely hectic in the streets as thousands have come out to take part in some form of the commemorations for the late monarch.
Back here, shoppers have been left in shock after they were forced to run for the exits while a group of masked offenders launched a brazen afternoon attack at Auckland's St Luke's Mall. Police are investigating after the group rushed into Stuart Dawson's jewellery store at around 5 o'clock yesterday. Footage from the scene shows the group using batons to smash cabinets before running off and waving their weapons at bystanders. It could take months or even years for a 42-year-old woman arrested in South Korea to face murder charges here in New Zealand. The woman was arrested last week and stands to be extradited back to New Zealand to face charges related to the deaths of 2 young children whose bodies were found in suitcases that were unwittingly bought as abandoned goods. The woman has since been moved to Seoul and will undergo a review at the High Courts within the next 2 months. That will indicate how the extradition process is going, but the process itself could take far longer. And news to put a smile on farmers' faces this morning, dairy prices are continuing their turnaround with an overall jump of 2% at the overnight global dairy trade auction. The all-important whole milk powder price is up 3.7%. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more stories and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.